Yo, what's up? Is the ontology the new semantic model? We did a video on ontology a couple of weeks back and we got a lot of comments saying that, oh my god, this is just another semantic model. Why should we care? And honestly, I get why. They both sit on top of the underlying data. They both explain some sort of relationships and how that data is structured. And they both help you understand information about that data without having to dig through the actual raw tables. But saying that ontology is just an improved semantic model is a bit like saying that internet was just a better fax machine. I mean, I don't know what a fax machine is. I mean, Patrick does, but I don't know. The point is, yes, they are related, but they are also trying to solve two different problems. So that's what I want to dive into. So let's start with what we already know. In Fabric today, most of us use the semantic model. That's where we got our fact tables, our dimension tables, we got the relationship between the tables, we got the measures, and everything is just organized around the data. When then Microsoft introduces ontology, I totally get why people are like, oh wow, okay, so this is just another modeling layer. It seems reasonable, but that is not actually what's happening. Think about a traditional semantic model where we got sales in the middle, we got customer, we got product, we got contract, we got SLA, we got region, and everything just evolves around a transaction and reporting. And that is exactly what the semantic model was designed for. It was designed to answer questions like, what's the revenue by customer or revenue by product or by region? And it is a fantastic analytic structure. Now let's flip the perspective. So instead of starting with the tables, let's start with the business concepts like customer and product, contract, and an SLA and region, and maybe also incident and invoice. A semantic model will ask, how is that data organized? A ontology will ask, what does this business actually mean? And that is two very different questions. Let's, for instance, take a look at an SLA and a customer. The only natural way to connect them in a semantic model might be indirectly through a series of tables, quite complex and not really optimized for analytics in Power BI. While in an ontology, the relationships themselves become the meaningful context. For instance, we see that a customer has a contract. A contract covers a product, a contract is governed by an SLA, a customer reports an incident impacts an SLA, a contract generates an invoice. And now you see that we're not looking at a star schema anymore. We're looking at a network. It's much more complicated, and businesses are naturally more graph-like than star-shaped. And now you might be saying, but Marthe, we love the star schema. We don't want to let it go. I get it. But think about this. A star schema is not really optimized for a business. It's actually optimized for the Vertipack analytics engine. It's optimized for the technical tool to work the best way it can, not to naturally explain business concepts. And also in traditional BI, we then have the human in the loop to understand what we are trying to solve through the table names and the joins and the measures. But AI doesn't naturally understand any of that. So if you ask an AI agent which high-value customers are at risk because they have unresolved incidents and repeated SLA breaches, we can't answer that through just one table or a few tables connected to a fact table. That's multiple business concepts that you need to connect together. And that is exactly what an ontology does. It explains explicitly those relationships. And that is exactly the kind of context that AI agents need. But you shouldn't only think about ontology through the eyes of reporting. It can also be a way to just define the business rules and the business definitions in your organization. Because I bet in your organization you have the same business entity represented in different systems. For instance, you might have Salesforce, an ERP system, ServiceNow. All of these define and represent the customer business entity a bit differently. Maybe with different schemas and structures, and also maybe different terminology, and an ontology can help you unify that meaning. So is the ontology replacing the semantic model? I think the answer is no. The semantic model is still the analytical engine. The ontology becomes the business context layer on top of that semantic model. So the simplest way to think about it, tables tell you where and how that data is stored. Semantic models tell you how that data has been structured to analyze and answer some sort of business questions. But the ontology tells you what that business means. And in a world full of AI agents, meaning might be the most important layer of all. Okay, what do you think? Does ontology make more sense to you now? Let me know by leaving a comment below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm excited to see you guys in the next video. Until then, I will see you in the cube. Bye!